debut out in Cincinnati. This guy, Joe Burrow, he is going to get some limited action for the Bengals. Justin Fields gets the start for the Bears as they face the Titans in the preseason finale. It all starts tomorrow night, though, right here on NFL Network. The Vikings taking on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Then we've got a triple header Saturday, another triple header on Sunday. We've got you covered all weekend long on NFL Network. I'm going to try to get Coach Andy Reid to do some yoga with me, a la Chris Jones. He's going to shut that down.
Think he's down for that?
Absolutely not. Not a chance, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow right here on NFL Network. Come on to our breakfast table. Welcome to GMFB, presented by Progressive Insurance. It is Thursday, August 26th. It is Nate's leaving eve.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
No.
No, this is...
I'll be in Kansas City.
Okay, so we really got to go ham these next couple of hours.
Is that what's going to happen?
Leave it all on the field.
Yeah, you got to leave it out on the field. Go off the rails, Kay.
That's
We're doing
fair.
Fridays, but
Yeah.
Thursday.
Well, I can't imagine what's going to happen tomorrow when I'm not here.
Oh, my gosh, it's going to get
What
crazy.
that's going to look like. Yeah. Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, my name's... Yeah, totally. My name's Kay Adams. It's time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Kyle Shanahan, let's talk about him. You love him, Nate.
Of course. That's
He's been careful not to reveal too much when it comes to his QB situation. Of course, the media is going to keep asking and needling him. So as we approach the final preseason game, Coach Shanahan, who's going to start week 1, bud?
I got a pretty good idea, but as you guys can see with everything, I don't know our schedule a couple days from now. So I've always had a pretty good idea, but there's lots of days between now and then.
Kyle said he had a pretty good idea to be the starting quarterback in week 1. Do you have a pretty good idea?
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea.
You're smiling about it. That must mean something, right?
It's whatever he decides. Yeah, I have a pretty good idea. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now and everything, and just the offense as a whole. But yeah, Kyle's the head man. He'll make the call.
So Jimmy might have tipped us off a little bit with that smile of his. The question is, should Jimmy Garoppolo be the Niners starter week 1? Nate? Yeah, right.
See, the tricky thing about veteran quarterbacks battling a young QB is that we don't know how much of the playbook the young QB knows. We were talking about Mac Jones last hour, and I don't know how much of a grasp he has on the playbook. Same thing with Trey Lance. As good as he looked, and trust me, he did look good after throwing that interception, it gets you excited. But can Kyle Shanahan open up his complete playbook to Trey Lance? I don't think so right now. So if that is indeed the case, yeah, start Jimmy G. But I say start Jimmy G with a short leash. And I do believe that's going to be the case. Once Jimmy G goes out there, if he's flawless and he plays well, he will be your starter the entire year, which is great for Trey Lance. Get to sit on the sideline and learn about the game from a bird's eye view. But if Jimmy G has one of those games where they struggle, defense plays well, he throws a pick or two, and they lose because the offense is inept, Trey Lance is going in, and much sooner than expected. So it's Jimmy G starting week 1 with a short leash for Trey Lance to come in.
This is so weird. Like, we all know, because Shanahan knows, Garoppolo knows, sitting there beaming from ear to ear about, yeah, Jimmy's going to start, but they just don't want to say it. I think Shanahan loves messing with the media a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think, Rodgers loved it all summer, like just toying with people, and I think Shanahan's having a ball up there, just messing with them. But I still think that by week 7 that Trey Lance will be starting, because I've said this a million times. Kyle Shanahan can't resist the talent. He's spent too much on him. There's a couple of fat home games in there. They play the Packers and they play the Seahawks back to back. I feel like that is the Jimmy defining point. You win both those games, you play well, maybe you do ride it out the whole season. It's just, you ever get someone give you a gift card and it's just like free money and it burns a hole in your pocket and you're like, I just want to spend this on anything. I can't sit on this. I'm going to go out and spend it on some dumb stuff at the bait and tackle store just because it's free. I feel like that Trey Lance is the gift card in Kyle Shanahan's pocket, and he's not going to let it just sit there for a whole season. Week 7, I'm still standing by it, but Jimmy looks great.
He does.
Oh, and I mean physically, he looks great. Not on the field. I'm talking about how hot he is. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Okay, good.
Picking up those clues.
Damn. Very sexy man.
He is very good looking.
Kyle, relax.
No.
They've got the best of both worlds here, because you could clearly tell that Jimmy's comfortable. I think Jimmy is like carefree Jimmy this year. The fact that he wasn't like, I'm going to just play by Kyle's rules and go up there and be like, I don't know who the starter is. Like, okay, yeah, okay, ha, 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 like, I'm good. It's the same way he was using expletives at the opening press conference when they're talking to him. He's like, sorry. They're like, did Jimmy just curse? And like, yeah, Jimmy cursed. Jimmy's on one right now. Jimmy's on one because he's got at least this year to show the rest of the league or the Niners organization, this job is mine, and if it's not this job, I'm going to make some money somewhere else. I am a starter. I am one of the 32. The feeling here is that Trey Lance will eventually be the starter. Kyle, I disagree. I don't think it's there's this crucible of those games against the. I think it's going to still be Jimmy through the majority of this season, and it might be the entire season, but I do think we're going to see Trey Lance a lot. And it is a luxury to have that because you could bring Trey Lance in and give him 5, 6, 7, 8 snaps. If you set that table now, I don't think Jimmy G is going to be upset and be like, I'm not coming off the field. No, that's what it is. You're the starter.
Using his mobility, that type of stuff? Why would you
using him out of the pocket, using him to just keep defensive coordinators up at night. Like, I can't stress this enough. He will get there, but did not play other than one throwaway game against Coastal Carolina last year. Did not play a college football game last year. Only played limited games at North Dakota State. And then in high school was not one of these decorated 5-star guys. He was a Minnesota product that was not one of those guys, and he played in a run offense. So, like, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot. It might not be the full kitchen sink right away for Trey Lance. So you're going to see him in snaps, but, like, I think it's Jimmy's team.
Does the experience thing not hit you at all?
Which the Trey Lance? Yeah.
That's the Trey Lance thing. He doesn't have. So you saying he'll be out there week 7 is an indictment on Jimmy because this is just, you think Jimmy's going to struggle?
I think he'll be fine, and that's the problem. I've said this before. I think Jimmy is good, sometimes very good, but he's limited. Yeah. He's limited at how good he can be. I think Shanahan has seen those limits. I don't think he wants to see them again. I think that's why we're moving on. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's the kind of guy who's like, Lance will get. No, I think he drafted Trey Lance.
Experience doesn't hit you in that just like decision.
It does, but the talent I think trumps it, and the ceiling.
I think that he went into New Orleans a couple years ago, Jimmy, and
he was great.
It was not going to be one of these. Hey, we're only going to throw the ball 6 times. I think they won 38-35. He threw the ball all over the yard. I think he's got that in him if he has to have it. I feel like because they went and got Trey Lance in the draft, everyone's immediately dismissing that Garoppolo can win football games. He's been really good for them over the years. And I think they know that, but they also know that Lance is the future. If you can mix that somehow.
Why did they draft Trey then? Like, why? If he goes to New Orleans and wins, ride that guy.
Well, he's the future and he's cheaper for the foreseeable future. But, Strakes, to your point, Jimmy is literally playing with house money.
I think so.
It's just like...
It doesn't get up into his head mentally of like, coming out.
You got to pay me regardless. And I'm making a ton of money. I know that I'm a winner. I've made it to a Super Bowl before, so, like, what's the worst that can happen? I don't play well, and I'm still a $100 million quarterback in this league and will most likely get a job after Trey Lance takes over. Like, he's in a different space. And you can tell. Last year, I feel like Jimmy was crumbling under the criticism that the world was throwing his way. And rightfully so. There was times where he just didn't play well. Now he's like, I can care less about the criticism. Let me go out there and play free. We might see a better Jimmy G than we've ever seen before.
Are we going to see this team in the Super Bowl? Because it looks like this is like the best thing that's ever happened. You get to work in this tremendously talented threat of a rookie in packages until he's ready to take over. And it's Jimmy's job, who's a proven winner with a 26-9 record, who's been to the Super Bowl, has won a Super Bowl with a different team. On this, like, are we sleeping on this as a Super Bowl contender?
That division's tough.
That division's tough. You ain't lying.
The Rams are good.
2 years ago when Jimmy was healthy, they won not only that division, but their entire conference.
And if Jimmy can't get it done, you put in Trey Lance. It's a pretty good situation, Kyle Shanahan.
The conference is tough, man.
Forget the division. No announcement yet in San Francisco. We did get one down in Jacksonville, though. Urban Meyer did make it official yesterday. Trevor Lawrence is the Week 1 starter for the Jags. And in Denver, head coach Vic Fangio made an announcement. Teddy Bridgewater getting the nod over Drew Lock Week 1. Teddy traded to the Broncos. That happened back in April. Now he'll be under center to start the regular season. Now that we know the quarterback situations, what needs to happen here? Let's just stick with Denver. What needs to happen for Denver to make the playoffs? Speaking of tough divisions.
Yeah, speaking of divisions, I would say second in your division, like let's make that leap. Let's not be at the bottom of the barrel in your own division. And then let's split games on the road. Try to win half your games on the road. That way, you're in contention. You're in the hunt. But then on top of that, like, have a legit explosive offense. Lean on the pass game. We just talked about their pass catchers, and they got a ton of them. Noah Fant, I believe, is going to be a fantastic tight end in this league. I mean, he's just scratched the surface. 62 catches, and you're leading your team. And then you have a speedster like Jerry Jeudy, Courtney Sutton back. And then you have a host of wide receivers. Not to mention, the running back room is solid. So if Teddy Bridgewater takes that micromanager tag and title that people have been giving him for years, ball it up and throw it in the trash and say, you know what, I'm going to play as free as possible. And he's another guy. He might not be playing with house money, but he understands that Drew Lock is sitting behind him. So why not just let it fly? Like, Teddy let it rip like never before.
You think Teddy can let it rip like never before?
This could be the most talented roster he's ever played with.
Does he have to do that, or does he have to just be capable?
I don't want him to micromanage. And in that division, you shouldn't.
You got to be the Chiefs.
You got to be the Chiefs. And also, you got to be better than explosive Herbert and the Chargers. So you can't micromanage in this division. You better go out there and be as explosive as your competition.
There's one beacon of hope for Broncos fans right now. I have almost no memories of the Teddy Bridgewater Panthers. They just didn't really resonate. The Panthers played the AFC West last year. They played the Chiefs, and I don't recall Teddy's performance in this game, so I had to go back. Teddy was unbelievable against Kansas City. It was the best games of his career.
I don't remember that.
He had over 300 yards. He threw for 2. He ran for
McCaffrey had like 200 yards of offense in one game back, and then Joey Sly kicked a field goal late in the game.
Yeah.
He missed it, but like
33 to 31 in Arrowhead. So Broncos fans, this is your guy right now, going up and down the field against the Honey Badger and that defensive front and everything. Like there is a shot here. This game is a big deal. The answer is like everything, like the whole league. Beat the Chiefs, and then we'll talk about you. Beat the Chiefs, and then we'll talk about you.
I actually disagree with you, Nate. I think that they went with Teddy Bridgewater because they know that he's dependable, reliable, and don't air it out. I feel like that this is the deal where it's like, we might have a really good defense this year. We don't need a quarterback throwing interceptions and putting us in a bad spot. Look at this defensive backfield that the Broncos are going to be trotting out on the field this season. I think it might be the best room in the entire league. Those are 3 guys who could all be cornerback 1s in the league, with Surtain coming on. Kareem Jackson is a great defensive back. And Justin Simmons might be the best free safety in football, especially if you ask the folks up there in Denver where they love him. So you have that. And gosh, Vic Fangio is a defensive-oriented coach. Don't you think he would love to see defense lead the way and maybe defense be it? Do you know the last time Bradley Chubb and Von Miller played a football game together? It was all the way back week 4, not last year, 2019. That is so long ago. Of course, Chubb got hurt in 2019, and Von Miller missed all of last year. This unit, I mean, when they were together in 2018, I know it feels like it's black and white football, it goes back so long, they combined for 27 sacks. So you put together that defensive backfield, and you've got Chubb and Miller, potentially healthy, like they're saying, a Vic Fangio coach defense. Teddy, don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. I don't know if Drew Lock was going to be able to go through a season and be able to just do enough without doing too much. I know Teddy Bridgewater's a veteran. I feel like they do that. They let the defense lead the way. They could be in the playoffs. They could be in the top 7 in the AFC.
Defense, run game, I totally agree with you. Is it enough to pick out the Chiefs, though? You keep barking Chiefs over there.
That's the way of this league these days. Beat the Chiefs. I don't know. Listen, the Von Miller thing is one of these guys that's getting some vibe for like comeback player of the year. The Chubb and Von thing is incredible. And I think we're starting to stumble upon a truth here. I think it's true. Drew Lock is one of these like low-level gunslinger types, and that's not the kind of team they want to have. The question is, I would say, does Denver have enough offensive firepower to beat Kansas City and LA too? So we'll see.
Probably the best.